Ramadan, the ninth month of the Islamic calendar, was made compulsory since the year 624 AD, with Muslims all over the world urged to abstain from eating, drinking, smoking and sex from sunrise to sunset for 29 or 30 days. The benefits of fasting are enormous, ranging from religious to health benefits. With over 2 billion Muslims across the world observing this religious obligation, Muslims in Ghana would have to mark this year's Ramadan under food scarcity and other accompanying hardship, with the economy at its worst point ever. We spoke with some Muslims in the Techiman municipality to have their take on the rising prices of food and other essential commodities and how this has affected this year's Ramadan. Cindy Shaban described this year's Ramadan as a dry one.
Looking at this year's Ramadan, it's more like a throwback or a flashback to the COVID time. Yeah, it's not easy. Even watermelon. The first day of Ramadan, I bought to just taste one, and the one who bought, she said, "There's a small watermelon." She bought it for 70 cedis. 70 cedis over so that's the only fruit that I took.
Swadik Shisu Karamo also shares same sentiment with Cindy Shaban. He says the economic hardships has affected all, including politicians who in the past used to donate sugar and other food items to be distributed to the needy.
Gaskiya ne Ramadan shekaran gari ba easy bane. Ana zafi kuma gashi ba kudi. Ka gane ya sa yanzu kaya ma yi tsada sai shi ma mutane biya. Kana sanin wuri bai da kyau har yan siyasa ma bin ya shafe su. Kana sanin har yanzu ba wanda zai ce ma ga sikirin da wani ya bashi, ban sani ba zuwa gobe ko bayan gobe, amma previous years dai ana bayarwa kafin wanga lokaci.
Farhad Jamal also tells me that aside the financial crisis, the heat, the unbearable heat in the system, which is caused by the rising temperatures as a result of climate change, makes the observance of the month-long fast even much more difficult.
Well, I can't say this Ramadan is the worst. It's a little bit okay, but it's very hard. Aside financial problems, the weather is very hot. That's making the fasting very hard for us.
She adds that if not for the mandatory aspect of the month of Ramadan, many Muslims would have opted not to observe this due to the current situation.
The weather is too hot. You can't do your regular routines because of the weather. You have to stay back home. Even seeing if not because the fasting is compulsory for all Muslims, had it been it's a nafila or something else, a lot will not do it this year because the fasting is very hard, seriously.
Abdurrauf Hashim has been fasting for over 2 decades now. He says the unbearable heat makes it difficult for the fasting person, adding that this year's fast is one of the most difficult.
I feel we are Namianim send a show see woman, dear, and naturally, no dear, and cool ye, and yes, a shep dear, Master Judge, and come with the minting yet. But I don't know, I say, I don't am assuming to know any there. This only one year, and Santina, my in year, and yes, I dear. With it to I think I know dear, I feel we dear, actually, adding.
Hudu Musa on his part says the heat coupled with the terrible economic situation makes this year's Ramadan a much more strenuous one.
No ubia ho kire no aho kire zakwa mienu ana miensa akiriwia aho kire wom hit nu wom ena ya yankasa yebotom enye bit my fasting ade be sa ube nye kakra ka wano no so edene nti aho kire nu wom pa nti ama awia no ni abotom aho kire na akoye mienu aka bom ti afi we de.
Even though the current economic hardship plus the rising temperatures makes observing this a much more difficult task, these Muslims slowly but surely are into the third and final half of the month with the sole hope of reaping the numerous benefits this month comes with. Reporting for Joy News, Anas Sabit, Techiman.